We're still in summer and we're absolutely loving it, and Heidi is having a great time with Hunkydory's new collection called, appropriately enough, Summer Splendor. Will you please come play with us? Well, here's the whole Summer Splendor collection, the luxury topper kit with, as you know, with the foiled toppers, the foiled cardstock and the printed cardstock, and as you can see, an idea sheet. We also have a little book of Summer Splendor. We have inserts and we have the adorable scoreable. But let's get into the projects because that's what we're here to show. We'll get in closer just so you can really see them. Thank you, Steve. Now, this is our regular 5 by 6.5 inch card, and Heidi has created an interesting collage in the center there. So let me just show you what she used. She began with this sheet. Now this is one of those foiled cardstocks that are in the topper kit, but in the case of the front of the card, she just used the top area. So she cut that, and the measurements are down below as usual. Then she matted this on the adorable scoreable that's solid, this is the green, and glued it to the front of her card. So that was the first step. Now, then she added more things. So we'll start here. This is the topper sheet she used, and there are actually 10 of these in this collection. And you can see, I'll just slide that over, how she took that large oval and also the one next to it. There are actually 3 nested ovals in this. So she took the outside one and the center one, glued them to the center of her card, and so that's how she started. She also took this one, let me see, it is right here, says good luck in foiling right there, but she wanted to add not an oval but a circle behind it because this is a circle shape. So she went into our favorite, the 12 circle and the scallop cutting dies, and die cut out of the cardstock. Now the cardstock she used here is this kind of orange color, so that worked best. And then she foam taped that to right over, kind of on the left shoulder of her card. Down here, she put this one and foam taped it on top, and that just created a nice balance. But this area was empty, so she used the border and she cut it apart. So Have a Beautiful Birthday is repeated along the border, but she just snipped it and brought it over clear to the edge. And I think that's a really nice balance. Now for these pieces, these are right here. She double foam taped them to lift them even higher. Then for some extra balance, in this particular topper set, you get 2 of these sheets as bonus sheets, and they measure, they talk about all of the different flowers that are in this summer collection. And so you kind of have like plant pokes like there, but then you also have the tags, the labels, and so she's taken 2 of them, the one that says marigold and the one that says hibiscus, and tuck them behind this piece. I thought that was pretty clever. Now for the bow, that comes from our yellow ribbon set. I bet you could have figured that out. And I love that dotted, it just really looks fun and bright. Now for her accents here, she went into the Fizz, F-I-Z-Z, wishing bubbles. Now these have different sizes, some of them on foam tape, some are kind of a mounded pearl look, and all of them just work nicely. So she added 3 right there. Now for the inside of her card, okay, you know that adorable scoreable that we used on the front, this one? Well, she used the other piece right here, and that goes and simply covers the whole inside of her card. Now to do that covering, just in case that's a different term for you, what I recommend is to take your adhesive, I'm a glue stick gal, so whatever you like, and run it around the outside edge and then make an X. Then you can take your cardstock, bring it right to the fold, but not over it, press it down, turn it over, and trim to fit. It works perfectly, and it works every single time, and there's no measuring. Now on the inside, she went back to her topper sheet, and she had used those 2 outside ovals. Well, here she just glued down the middle oval. That worked nicely. Summer is out of that extra sheet, as is Marigold. And then can you see the little pearl dots? Well, that's out of the Fizz Wishing Bubbles, and it's all done. Oh, so easy. And what a great kind of mixed media look. Good for you, Heidi. Okay, we'll go to our next card. Now this is a slimline card, and I think it's just really, really fun and really simple to do. Now for this one, Heidi went again into the Adorable Scorable, not the foiled one, but just a printed one. And she used that for the front of her card. And doesn't that artwork really lend itself to the slimline cards? And the slimline, 3.5 by 8.5 inches. We have them in packs of 10 cards, 10 envelopes, and it just works really nicely, but oh so pretty. Then she matted it onto the darker pink, which is this one, that's in the Adorable Scorable collection. And again, pretty easy to do. And then she foam taped that grouping onto the top of her card. Now that's a different twist. Now for these two, they come from the topper sheet, and I'll bring it in. And this has carnations, it has the sweet peas. This is called Blushing Bouquets. There's always a title in the upper right hand corner. So she's taken the two of them, these two, Thinking of You Always, and then this one, and simply placed them up here. She did take a ribbon out of the light pink collection and wrapped it around this top part, and then put a bow on top, knotted that in place. So that worked quite nicely. She also, to add just a bit of sparkle, so you've got the foiling, but just to add some sparkle, she went into Hunkydory's Diamond Sparkles. This is the pink set, and she's got one there, and then kind of into the flowers and at the bottom. Now you may be seeing, and I'm seeing, right here and up here, and those are from the Fancy Border Dazzles. Now this has 8 sheets in it. It's over 200 dazzles. You get them in black, white, gold, and silver. They're 2 different designs, and just lift and place. So right there and right there. Now you can do that at any point. You can do it when you have just this piece cut, or you can do it after it's been placed on the card. It makes no difference. You're just going to snip the edge of the dazzle and then place another piece right down there. Okay, for the inside of her card, she has done similar steps. She took the card insert, and that's that separate purchase, and took the same design that she used on the front. Now the inserts, as you know, are always ghosted back images. They're kind of made to go inside the card. That's the name, insert. And she also used that same Adorable Scorable that she used on the front, and she used this and covered the entire front, or entire inside of her card, as I just told you earlier. And then she trimmed this to be smaller all the way around. And she used those same fancy borders, but this time she selected the gold. Now notice in the inside, they're on each side. On the front, they're top and bottom. That's a nice design element. She used another ribbon, the same ribbon, made a little loop and foam taped the Thank You foil topper right there. Used some more of the sparklets inside the flowers, and that finished that card. Very easy to do, very nice to duplicate, I think. Okay, we have another. Now, as I told you in the beginning, there is a little book of the Summer Splendor. This is part, by the way, of the Forever Florals. Hunkydory's been releasing different kinds of flowers all year. In fact, I'm not sure if they're going to still do that next year, but I wouldn't be surprised. Summer Splendor is this collection. The little book has 144 sheets. There are 24 designs, and you get multiples of each one. Well, Heidi has put that to good use right with this one. Now let me show you what she's done. Here is the sheet that she selected, and you can kind of see it right there. You see the top and the bottom. So she used a couple of sheets of this, actually 3 of them on the front of her card. And doesn't that just look bursting with color? So she took the vertical one. There's also a horizontal image with these delphiniums, but she used the vertical one, and she matted it onto this purple adorable scorable. You can see it right there. And then she foam taped it onto the lighter purple. Nice, huh? Nice. Now, you'll see a flash of gold down there. Well, you see gold in a couple places, don't you? That ribbon is from our gold and silver collection, and it's really nice because you get half gold, half silver, and it works really nicely. So you can see that she's wrapped it there. I'm going to show you or talk about this right now because the delphinium is on that topper sheet, and she used a bone folder like this to just slightly curve it, kind of like you would do ribbon. So just hold one end and then place this on the back of it and just run it just a couple of times. It's going to slightly curve it. When you have that curve done, then put a zot on each end and zot it onto your card, but allow that bow to still happen. In fact, let me show if you can see it. It's just raised a bit. And that's going to create almost like a vase for all these flowers. So how did she go from that one image into such a burst of flowers? Well, she, as I said, that pad has, you get several different sheets of the same one. So she took our 4.5-inch professional scissors, and highly recommend these for any type of cutting that you want to do. Comes from Crafter's Companion, and what she did, in fact, you can kind of see as I point it out. Do you see this light color here? Well, she cut out 2 of them, placed them there and there. You see the darker blue, there's one here and one here. You see the pink, there's one here and one here. All of those are foam taped up, and all of them are on top of this. So this creates your base and gives you kind of the filigree for back behind it, as well as kind of some distance flowers, and then these are placed on top. So the scissors just make it super easy and allows you to do that cutting should you choose to do it. Okay, the word friend, this comes from our We're Together Dazzles. Now this sheet comes in a whole bunch of different colors here, certainly black, white, not black, white, gold, silver, and brown. She used the gold, as you can see. The word friend is right there. It has these words like missing you, thinking of you, get well, missing our time together, missing you, hello there, hello friend. It has it in stacked text. It also has it in script, long text, so you get both of them in the one package. So she's got friend right here inside, missing our time together. It also has several little icons, and that worked nicely. Now for the inside of her card, she once again went to the insert sheet. You can see how she just glued that in place and turned it over and trimmed it to fit. And then she added another little bow right there, another little gold one. So you've got gold here and gold nicely done at the top and at the bottom of your card. Very nice. Okay, I have one more, and you know what? I just realized I forgot to show you something that's in this collection. And my goodness, how could I have done that? Okay, let me show you. Here it is. There is a flowering fuchsia cutting die panel. There is a gorgeous gerbera. And there is a lovely lily. My, well, Heidi had the choice, whichever one she wanted, but she could only use one. So she went for the gerbera. And here is the card that she did. So let me get these out of the way. And by the way, all of these have 3 dies. So there's an outside, the frame, and then a panel for words. So thinking of you, All my love and best wishes. Okay, really pretty. Now, let's get to the card, Paulette. Okay, so you can see what she used, I bet. She started with our regular 5 by 6.5 inch card, and then she took the cutting die, the one that I just showed you. Let me bring it back. And she used our silver ripple cardstock. This is holographic. Wow. And how fun to use it with a flower cutting die. Isn't that neat? Really, really nice. Now, she could have just done the inside and just had the flower, but she decided to make a frame, so she used the other die with it, and that's how all 3 of these are. So really, really nice. And then she matted it onto the dark pink. Now, we used the dark pink earlier, and it was, yeah, here it is. There are several sheets. There are 3 sheets of each color, so that works nicely. So she simply attached this cutting die piece to the cardstock. Now, she did use sticky specs. She, like the entire design team, has found sticky specs work so beautifully. I know I briefly talk about this whenever we show it, but I just feel like I need to do that because we always have new people. Now, you get 4 sheets in every package, and there is a, let me separate this. There is an outside liner. It's very easy to pull. And then this sheet has tons and tons and tons, I would imagine millions, of teeny tiny micro dots. So you place your die cut paper or cardstock on top, put the sheet, the liner back on top, gently rub it to attach some of that adhesive, then open this up, pull off your paper, and when you go to put it onto your cardstock or whatever, it's going to lay down perfectly. You're not going to have any gaps or anything. It's just super, super easy and very nice to have. So she has placed that as a separate piece. Now, before she attached it to her card, obviously, she cut a piece of the light pink, adorable scoreable, and simply glued it onto her card. Now, she did allow the card itself to be the white mat around it, so that worked nicely. Then she foam taped this piece. Now, notice it's a bit above the card. I'd say it's about 3/4 of an inch lifted above the card, and it just gives a very nice look, creates a nice place for those flowers. But before she did anything with those flowers, she added thin line dazzles. Now, these are silver, of course, to go with that ripple. Comes with our thin line. Our thin line dazzles are some of our best-selling products because they're just so useful. There are, I think, 63 on each sheet, and this has black, white, gold, and silver. So she added the silver, and notice she had it just match the pink adorable scoreable, and she let the edges overlap. And she just did 3 sides. Well, because this side has already got so much silver on it, she didn't really need to add a 4th one. So just those. Then she went into the flowers. She used 2 flower packs, so let me show you. This is the ballet slipper. These are from our friends at 49 and Market. You can see the big flower up there as well as the leaves. These are paper flowers, really nice. And then she went into the passion pink royal posies. We love this because it's got 3 different sizes, and so just added a collection. Also, what the design team really seems to love is the variegated colors, so that's really nice. So you've got a large cluster and then another cluster down here. Worked really nicely. Now, for her bows, she's got actually 2 bows there, and they both come out of the white ribbon collection. So you're going to get narrow ribbon as well as a little bit wider ribbon. And she made a bow here and then added a smaller one on top. The flowers are zotted in place. The Thinking of You Well, that is a Dazzle sticker, and it comes from the set of tiny words and phrases. There are 310 tiny words and phrases, and it's really amazing to me how often just some little piece is needed, and these actually fit the bill. So Thinking of You is right there. That completes the front of our card. The inside of our card has that same bright pink, is covering the inside. And look what the woman did. She did another with the cutting die, but then removed the outside area, and she only has 2 of the flowers. So used it with sticky specks. The All My Love, she backed with the light pink and foam taped that on top. Another of the little flowers, a little heart from the Dazzles, and simply a knotted bow. Well, that just completes it. So you can see this is really a very, very summery, bright, festive collection. I am so sorry I forgot to tell you about those 3 wonderful dies, but I did a good job of telling you about the Summer Splendor topper set, the inserts, the cardstock, as well as the little book of Summer Splendor. All of this available from our friends at Hunkydory, and just really appreciate your being here. Let me know what you think. Did you like how Heidi used the products? Do you think that's something that you're interested in trying? We'd love to hear your comments and what you think about our webisodes. Be sure to look over on the right side of your screen, because you're going to see that money saver, and we definitely want you to be able to take advantage of that if you're interested. Down below, as I said, are all of the complete instructions and all the measurements, so there's no guesswork on your part. And if you're watching us on YouTube, come on over, join us at paperwishes.com, where we have lots of new things and many exclusive things every single day. See you next time.